Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We were having a little issues in the technical part, so I was explaining our community. So, welcome everyone now formally. I want to introduce you to Rachel Mbogo. Actually, she is now in Nigeria. We had the amazing pleasure to meet through Instagram, and I was in her podcast, and I also was with her in an Instagram live. And today I have the honor to have her as a guest here in my Instagram. And next week, next Monday, she's going to be taking over my Facebook group, the IVF Journey too. She's going to be your super host. She's going to be the main character there too. And well, today we're going to be talking with Rachel about how women and moms should support each other, right?
Yes.
So, Rachel, but before anything, I want to for you to introduce with everyone here.
My name is Rachel Mbogo. I am a Kenyan and I am in Nairobi currently. And I'm very happy to be part of this live session. Thank you, Monica, for inviting me.
No, no, no.
And happy to see different people who are joining in. I am a writer and a journalist, and mostly I support moms. So I run a motherhood website, podcast, and just a support group for moms to encourage them that they should know how to support each other because we really need that. So that in a nutshell is what I am. And I'm a mother.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Rachel, really thank you so much. As you were telling us, you really run a beautiful, beautiful support group in your Instagram. And today, as we were speaking, from what I have seen in your Instagram, you invite women from every kind of culture, country, and I love that. I've been there, talking about IVF because, as we spoke before, fertility treatments are now like a boom in Nigeria. And today, we want to talk, or you want to give us some tips about how we can, how we women can support each other, not only during pregnancy, but in the road to motherhood. Some of, of us, we have children, but we are suffering from second infertility. So we need that support. And my first question to you is like, what are your advice? How to be supportive, not only as mothers, but with women that we are walking to that road of motherhood and we are having that struggle, going to treatment, difficulty in trying to conceive, and while pregnant, please.
Yeah. First of all, just to encourage anyone out here that we are all different and we really need to embrace supporting each other. I think the world is already putting too much bad energy for us to start giving out also each other bad energy in return. And because different people go through different journeys to their pregnancy, we need to continually support each other. Practically, it's just about also encouraging somebody else. Pick a call. If you know someone who is walking through the journey, especially through the IVF journey, and especially if you're going through secondary infertility or you've lost a baby, it's very traumatizing.
Yes.
So, just over and above encouraging your friends to go and see a therapist, see a life coach, for example, we should take some practical steps of just like normal friendship, pick a call somebody, get to know how are you doing? How's your journey like? And I tend to see that most moms who are going through infertility, or even us, even the ones who are not, it can become a very lonely journey. Motherhood can become a very lonely journey. And to help to curb that, we need to be there for our friends, and not only calling. If maybe you're close to somebody, this would happen before. We would visit each other before. I know COVID-19 has come, and probably people can't go to each other's homes as they used to.
Yeah.
But when you're able to visit somebody, something as basic as doing a house show for the new family, or even when they're overwhelmed, even maybe when they don't have kids and they're just continuing to try, that is a show of support in a physical way, because the load of motherhood doesn't only come through carrying the baby, but even other things. We need to work, we need to do the house chores, we need to manage our homes, And therefore, those are some of the practical support that, as a person who's supporting my friend or who's supporting somebody who's going through that journey, can actually be with them. You can even go to the clinic with them, which is very important. When you're probably going through a season where you're not feeling well or you're going through the clinics, it's not easy for you to call your friend and tell them, come and take me. But it feels very nice when my friend tells me, I'm going to be with you.
Yes, it's
It,
much easier. You're right.
yeah. It's very much easier. Also, you can send some material for them to read that is encouraging. Maybe it's the mandalas that you have, and if you can be able to have one, you can send one to your friend, and that is a form of external support.
Yes.
So that is some of the things that I could highlight.
And it just, you mentioned something so a key on this conversation, which is for a person, for a woman that is going through a difficult journey, even though, let's see, if he's suffering from second infertility, so it's already a difficult journey. Sometimes we feel like ashamed, and we are not capable to make that call. So what you just said, of the other side making a call, even though it's easier. So it makes me jump to this second part of the our life, which is how to stop shaming each other, and not only each other, ourselves. For example, when I knew that my only way to motherhood was IVF, I was like thinking, what I did wrong? What is wrong with my body? You feel defective. You kind of start to put some negativity into yourself, and then also how we can stop that. And this is a very
Yeah.
strong question, because I know you have strong tips.
Yes. First of all, it's just encouraging us mothers or as women to realize that the journey to motherhood is very different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are mothers because of they get to conceive naturally.
Mm-hmm.
There are others who go through the IVF journey. There are others who you have to adopt a child. But one of the things that somebody should realize, or as a woman, as a mom, you need to realize that one, you're special. The situation is very special. And I think we also need to understand that the fact that we are very special in our situation ourselves, that is supposed to be that you're not supposed to look at the other person as the other mother and feel that they're less of a mother because they probably did not carry that baby for 9 months, or they did not they gave birth prematurely, or they did not conceive naturally, or they have actually adopted a child, because all that amounts to a very huge level of pressure to every person who's going through motherhood in a different journey.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
So
that makes sense.
yeah. So it's fast to understand that the motherhood journey is very special and very unique to every woman. And the result is the same. You still get a baby at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So starting off with the personal shaming, like when you're shaming yourself and you're thinking, you know what, I think it's also societal that most of us get to think that, probably getting a baby is as easy as ABC. We conceive naturally, but not necessarily for everybody. And when you go through the other procedures, you may feel left out. So here's for other people who've gone through the natural way, it's very important to encourage the other people and to even to create an environment for everybody else who's going through something different to know that they're not any weird uh, from you. Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't make, and also to remove that element of feeling that just because I went through a natural procedure, I'm of a higher grade of a mother than the other person.
It makes so much sense what you say, because it's really, like sometimes, and it, sometimes people doesn't mean wrong to women like us that go through IVF. But I think that what you just mentioned is always look at others, that we are living our own journey no matter what. Like you just said, we don't know. So putting a little bit of kindness and compassion through everyone in this world, which is what we are missing now. Today, like you just mentioned in the beginning, the world is so much full of hate. We look people as a person, and we don't look at that person as what good actions they have done it. And it's too bad. We need really more kindness and compassion, no matter what our religion is, no matter where we are coming from. For me,
Yeah.
everyone is the
Mm-hmm.
same, but I need to see and be compassionate that each person walk their own journey and pain, and you just mentioned it so clearly.
Yeah.
And I think that when we put that kindness, even without knowing, then we're going to
Mm-hmm.
become a little bit more sensitive of someone that maybe don't want to share their journey or feel ashamed. And then we are there just to, give a hug or say, you know what? I send you love. That's the only thing that you can do. And by saying that, you say basically all, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'd like to add that it's very often, I think also when somebody is shaming the other person, or as a mom, when I'm shaming my other fellow mom who's going through a different procedure that I deem not to be fit,
Mm-hmm.
um, what I'm encouraging us to really realize is that the journey to motherhood is very overwhelming.
Yes.
It's very overwhelming emotionally, mentally. It's tasking. Whether you are a mom through natural means or you're a
Correct.
mom through adoptive means, we need to realize that the level of emotional uh, press down, it's really huge, and it's the same for all of us.
Totally.
And for that, therefore, we should really carry and conduct each other with a little bit more kindness, as you said, and even be more compassionate with one another, and not feel that I'm entitled to have the tag that I'm a mom because I went through being a mom through this way and not this way.
Totally
Yeah,
agree. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So now, some women like me, we experience miscarriage or a stillbirth. Let's talk more about the stillbirth. And then we are in the same position. Our body is ready, to breastfeed and for a baby. Some mothers, we have our baby alive, so we are happy and all of that. So what kind of support during this part when our body is ready, for breastfeeding? Either let's say we have a baby, and for stillbirth mothers like me that I had, like to not to fight, but to kind of, yeah, actually fight that because I don't have the baby, but my body is ready. What kind of support we can find, Rachel, during that specific time?
So I think with the ones who, if you don't have a still baby yet, and maybe it's just the normal breastfeeding or
Mm-hmm.
normal your baby, first of all is just understanding where you are at the moment and really requesting for assistance around you, the people around you matter. And this is because a lot of mothers are predisposed to postpartum depression.
Yes.
And one of the huge percentages of postpartum depression is basically because of the weight and lack of support by the people around them. And that's why this topic is very important, because support contributes greatly to whether you're going to get postpartum depression or not.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So for mothers who have gone through the process and unfortunately they have a still baby, one of the things is to encourage them, one, to get a great support group around them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, is because such an experience, one, is very traumatic, and especially because naturally you're expecting that things are going to go well,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore they don't go as intended and as you had prepared. It may take a huge toll on you, and you're wondering, what do I do next? You probably have arrived home and you don't know, you don't even want to face the rest of your family because you're probably feeling first the shame and the guilt from inside,
Mm-hmm.
and also you are wondering what will the rest of the family feel, because as a mother you're dealing with your internal battle of failure.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all is trying to understand so that you can be able to heal. I think it's very important for a mom who's gone through this to get to find a support group that is close by, that deals with supporting women who have actually gone through a sense of loss.
Yes.
Uh, because one, it will be able to boost your confidence to another level. It will also be able to remove the feelings of yourselves of low self-esteem and feeling that I have failed. And even it slowly by slowly, it doesn't all happen overnight. I'd like
Yes.
to say that it doesn't happen overnight. You don't go through a miscarriage and then tomorrow you're trying again. It really takes a toll on somebody,
Yes.
and therefore getting to be conjoined with people who have gone through the same gives you a common ground. One, you're able to express it with somebody who, a professional or a coach who's able to understand your pain from a psychological perspective. you
Yes.
know, because there are other women who, when probably considering if I've gone through a miscarriage and then I tell another woman, you know, there are other women who can be very insensitive and they say, you'll try again, you'll get another baby. That is very, that doesn't really augur very well,
Yes.
because you need somebody who's going to be sensitive, who's going to understand that one, you're going to cry for days,
Yes.
all right, it's going to hurt for a very long time. It's going to be a process, a healing process, and well, life will never be the same again. But when they hold your hand, when they're able to give you material that can encourage you, can impact on your confidence again, can be able to even help you to bring your marriage or your companionship with your partner together, because such instances, they create a rock, or rather a certain friction in most
Yes.
people's marriages. Yeah, yeah. So being able to be joined with great support is very important, and something that I would highly encourage uh, who has gone through that. Yeah,
Yes.
in terms of probably breastfeeding as well, for people who have now, you know, the breastfeeding, the pumping, for example, I think it's very different in different continents.
Mm-hmm.
I want to particularly say that, especially here in Africa, it's not very, we don't really go through issues of breastfeeding shaming, but I do know that in Europe and in other continents, that is very common, you know,
Yes.
and you almost feel like when I'm pumping, I'm doing the wrong thing. When I'm breastfeeding, I'm doing the wrong thing. So moms are always feeling like they're under certain CCTV cameras by the society, you know.
Yes. You make so right. That's so true.
You know, which should not be the case. But I think it's just understanding, as a mother, you know what is best for your baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know the decision you make as a family. If you have researched on it and you've also consulted your doctor and you feel that that is what you decide, it's according to your beliefs, then I would like to encourage mothers to know that you're doing what is really best for your family.
Exactly. Yes. There is no
Yeah.
book for motherhood. That's true. That is so
Yeah.
true. That is so true.
Yeah.
And this definitely, make me jump to our last question. And listen, Rachel, I have to tell you, I appreciate so much this conversation because, like you said, a support group, especially from women that have gone through the same like you, then you will not feel alone, because we feel alone. It's like we feel like we are the only people in the universe, or the only individual in the universe that have gone through that. But when you discover that there is more, that support is so important. So
Yeah.
what would be your last message, few tips on to create that small community of moms and women supporting each other that have gone through all of this together and already, have a child, but they had hard time in motherhood, to reach motherhood, breastfeeding, stillbirth, because, you can find that community. What are the tips?
Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna approach this from a perspective of you. We are assuming that maybe you don't belong to any support group, and you're
Okay.
feeling as you're probably very lonely, and you're wondering, okay, where do I get other moms from?
Yes.
So because we've already highlighted the importance of having a support group in the first place, one of the ways is to, and maybe, actually most of the times you find that if you've gone through such a rough patch of motherhood, you may find that it's not necessarily that around you or your friends are going to be going through the same. And therefore you'll have to actually look for, let me just say, other friends
Yes.
who are going through the same thing, yeah? So some of these ways could be, the practical method could be maybe through your social media or through your social network. You can just check on your Facebook, on your Instagram. I know there are very many coaches, one, and there are very many groups that offer such level of support. So as a mother who's going through such an issue, take the first step, which is actually one of the steps of healing. After you have accepted what has happened to you and you want to continue to grow into becoming a better woman, the next step is now to look for a group of people or a support group. So you can search around on Facebook, see, and the beauty of the internet is that you don't have to be physically close by. I think the internet has made it very easy to have virtual connections that almost feel really physical anyway, because you still communicate.
Yes. Exactly. Like now.
Yeah, yeah, like now, yeah. So you can join and participate participate in such a support group, there are very many coaches that you can just check. For example, you are an IVF coach and you also have a Facebook group. So when somebody is able to search that, they can participate in such a group because you're going to meet up with women who are like-minded, who have gone through nearly the same situation, and therefore they understand the dynamics of how to overcome. And when you share the same intimate stories, you almost feel like your story is appreciated or is understood by somebody who has been there or who has actually walked the path just like you have. So for that regard, be able to search for coaches online, be able to search for some of the support groups online, but also you can begin your own support group with people that are around you. You can ask your friends mostly who may know another person who has gone through something else, and you just talk to them and you call them and you ask them, can we be talking at least once a week around about how we are feeling? It's also being about very deliberate because this is a healing process. It just doesn't happen. You have to be very deliberate around it. You have to be very deliberate about seeking information about how to heal, how to become a better mother, how to be able to join hands with the mothers that are around me. And I think that will make you very aware every time you're probably going to the farmer's market or you're meeting new moms. You almost have your antennae up to be looking for, when you're having a conversation, you can almost pick up, this is somebody who I'd like to recruit in my mom's group, for example.
Yes.
When
Yes.
you share, when probably I'm meeting different women in a cocktail party and I say, oh, I even have a small moms group, and we talk about IVF, or we talk about we're helping each other to heal over miscarriage. Somebody who's gone through that is definitely going to want to join you.
Yes.
So that way your network continues to grow. And those are some of my top recommendations of coming up with a support group. It takes a lot of confidence and it takes a lot of deliberate action to actually see that, what, I can't live in an island,
Yes, yes. I love that expression. It's so true. You are so realistic.
Yeah. I can't live in an island. Because one of the key things I'd like to encourage women and moms, one, it's very natural for us to have this notion that, one, we know it all, and two, you probably don't want to share your challenges with other people. But a problem shared is a problem half solved. And that is something that I'd like everybody to get out of this live session with. When you're able, we are humans, and humans are actually just made for social connection. There's nothing else that humans are, nothing greater that humans are made for. So when you're able to connect intimately with somebody by sharing something that you're going through that could be a little bit more challenging, you're able to assist each other in a very good way. My problem is going to be almost feel like it's shared because
Yes.
I've shared it with somebody else in a certain support group, and it will also need a level of vulnerability. If I only feel that I'm the one who knows everything and I don't need people to be close to me, I don't need to consult anyone, I don't need to learn from anyone, you're going to die out of depression. You're going to just feel like you're continually lonely. It will always feel overwhelming. But as you see in mom support groups, when probably a mom types that, oh, I'm going through this, and another mom says, oh, yeah, I relate. I went through that last week. We almost feel like, wow, give me some tips. And you almost feel like your problem has been half solved.
Yes.
And so that's an encouragement as to the reason and how forming a good support group around you is very important, and it needs quite a great deliberate action.
Well, Rachel, amazing. I tell you something. We went today through some specific and clear questions, and you gave basically the answers. It seems that you really have experience, and I love always to talk to you. One of the things that you say, and is here, you can see it as a testimonial, is Rachel and me. We met through Instagram. We share so many, things that happen to both of us. And this is one of the things that she just mentioned, creating a community that you can feel the person the closest possible, like we are, is the best. And you really can have that support. I can say for a fact that the best long life lasting friendship that I have found is through my social media, through my struggles of becoming a mom. I decide one day, after so many years, I'm going to create my group. And I have been becoming so close with wonderful women like you, Michelle, other beautiful women. We talk even sometimes about how are you, things that has nothing to do with our journey. And we are so far away. Rachel is in Nigeria. I am in New York, and we became so close. We are checking on each other here and there. We recommend each other, other people, and it's incredible how we can find that support, and that can help us heal through any difficult situation. It's so true. Thank you, Rachel, so much for being with me today. My people my girls in the group of Facebook are gonna love you for sure. And thank you very much. And I hope that if everyone has any questions, I'm going to post this video in my Instagram. It's going to be there. I'm going to send it to you so you can put it in yours. And you can comment and post and tag us. We're going to be there, and Rachel is going to be there answering any questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica. I really appreciate it. And thank you for everybody who has joined. So I hope as we leave this live session, you know the importance of supporting each other, support your fellow mom, support your fellow woman, and that makes the world a better place. Definitely.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you in another time.